Hello again and welcome to another GCSE computer science lesson. This video is going to be on Unit 5, wired versus wireless networks. So let's start off by talking about different types of wired networks or different types of wiring you can have in a network. So we've got coppers versus fiber. No, that's the wrong type of copper versus fiber. Here we go. We've got fiber optic versus copper cabling. All you need to know for the exam is that fiber optics are faster at transmitting data over long distances. So remember that all important over long distances bit. You need that to pick up the mark in the exam. You don't need to know why fiber optic is faster. All you need to know is that it's something to do with physics. And we're not in a physics lesson, so don't worry about it. This is all you need to know for the exam. Okay, so wired versus wireless networks. Well, first of all, I just want to start off by saying most devices that you're using can be either wireless or wired. So a standard desktop computer, normally they're wired in, but you can buy a USB wireless card for them if you wanted. And this little thing here that I'm hovering over, that was about £3 off eBay, for example. Laptops, they normally come with Wi-Fi cards built into them. And smartphones, all of them. I don't think there's a single smartphone that doesn't come with Wi-Fi built into it. It's kind of the point of the device, isn't it? Is that it can do things wirelessly. Now, you could opt in for the wired version. So a standard desktop PC, they normally come with little ports to plug these Ethernet cables into. Same for laptops, or at least most of them, apart from MacBooks. And even smartphones. You might not realize this, and a lot of people don't realize this. You can actually plug Ethernet cables into your smartphones and smart tablets, as long as you've got this little special adapter gizmo here. Okay, so looking at the advantages and the disadvantages of using a wired network versus a wireless network at a glance. So wired networks are considered to have faster data speeds. So if you just said faster in the exam, that wouldn't be enough detail, because you could be saying, oh, they're faster to set up, or they're faster to connect to. Well, that's why you need to specify they are faster data speeds or faster transfer speeds. Wired networks are arguably more secure for reasons that I'll talk about in a minute. One of the bad things about a wired network is that they are inconvenient. So a wired network, you need to kind of actually pull out computers and plug in wires, and it's a right faff to do, especially if you're in a classroom with 30 computers. And arguably, you could say that wired networks are quite pricey to set up. I mean, wireless cards and wireless devices do cost more money, but wired networks, you have to pay for all that extra cabling. But more importantly, the more expensive bit is that you have to pay somebody to install those cables for you. So in a school, for example, we need to pay a networking team to install all those cables for us. And if we have to put things under floorboards and inside the skirting boards of walls and drill holes through things, it gets even more pricey when you have to bring in contractors and builders and things. Okay, so wireless is better because they are more convenient. You can move around freely. You're not tied into a cable. But also they're easier to set up. You can just add devices to a wireless network by typing in a password in most cases. You don't actually have to plug things into places. For that same reason, you could say that wireless networks are cheaper because you don't have to pay somebody to prat about with copper cables. However, wireless networks are less secure for reasons I'll talk about in a moment. They have slower data speeds or slower transfer speeds, and the signal is easily blocked. So if you're in a particularly old building that's got really thick concrete walls, chances are that's going to block your Wi-Fi signal. Even certain Christmas tree lights can allegedly interfere with your wireless signal, and microwaves certainly can. So if you want to try an experiment at home and you really want to annoy people in your home, try turning the microwave on while people are trying to download something, or try and put the wireless router right next to the microwave and go bzzz, and see if that interferes with the signal. Just whatever you do, don't actually put the router inside your microwave, otherwise things are going to catch fire and explode, and that's generally a bad thing to do in your house, generally. Okay, so why are these things considered less secure? Why is wireless less secure? It all comes down to the fact that wireless signals are being transmitted everywhere. So the idea is a stranger walking past your house or past your office could effectively attempt to try and connect to your network, despite not even being in the property. So that's one of the reasons why it's considered less secure. One of the other reasons why is because you can get some special hardware combined with some software such as Wireshark. I recommend giving this a go if you're that way inclined. And you can actually read all of the wireless traffic that's going on in the air. So you can get this device and this software, put them together, and you can start reading all of these digital transmissions that are going on, all these radio waves, and hopefully, well, hopefully not for some people, hopefully or hopefully not, you might be able to pick out somebody's important information such as bank details. Okay, that being said, you need to be especially aware of public Wi-Fi or free Wi-Fi, so the kind of Wi-Fi that you would get in a coffee shop or McDonald's. It should be avoided, and it's considered dangerous because, well, you're dealing with the general public here, and someone in the general public, for a joke, might decide to put a virus on the network or deliberately flood the network with nonsense so it becomes unusable. The other problems with public Wi-Fi or free Wi-Fi, because again, it's the general public connecting to it, doesn't cost anything. You might find the internet speed goes really, really slow because there's going to be a lot of people on there taking the mickey, downloading large files like torrents or HD videos or things like that. But finally, one of the biggest security risks, and linking back to this, is that people could be spying on your traffic. So they could be connected to the free hotspot and they'll be spying on everyone else in the area to try and get some free information or steal your bank details or log into any of the online accounts that you might have. Expanding on this point, and you don't need to know what I'm going to say for the exam, but it might be interesting for you to know. Expanding on this point, I'm going to talk about Bob Marley jamming. I do apologise for the bad joke, but this is going to become relevant. Let's say you're connected to the Wi-Fi at home. And in my case, I'm connected to my internet, which is called It Hurts When IP. Now, if I had a particularly malicious neighbour, they could jam my frequency. They could be effectively jamming my Wi-Fi signal. So they could be, I don't know, they could have like a really powerful sort of frequency jammer. Maybe they're microwave, or maybe they're just using a little bit of specialist hardware like this to take down my wireless network remotely. Well, once they've taken down my network, they could put up another one with the exact same name. So they could put up another network called It Hurts When IP. I could connect into it thinking it's mine, but really it's my neighbours spying on me and taking a note of all of my financial transactions and all of my login information. And I've effectively just given away all of my personal information. So you've got to be very, very careful of that. The same applies to public Wi-Fi. You could be connecting to a hotspot that says free McDonald's Wi-Fi, but in reality, it's just a creepy stranger pretending to be McDonald's, and really they're taking all your information. So just something for you to be aware of.